Hey everyone, this is Matt with my Model Y adventure. Wanted to introduce you to a new item I picked up earlier this month. Just had the chance to install. This is the U-Bin rear entertainment screen. This is one of the largest ones that I've seen kind of in the market. It's 8.66 inches. I have the installation steps and everything kind of coming up in the video. It's extremely easy to install it. It is also, unlike some older versions or older devices, there's basically only one wire connection between the car and this screen, which is awesome because a lot of the other ones have multiple cables, especially if you want to have some control of the seats, to kind of move the passenger one forwards, backwards, side, or recline it forwards and backwards, or move the actual seat forwards and backwards. There's also a built-in massage function, which is awesome to see working for both the seats. Integration with different applications using Android, whether it's Netflix, YouTube. There's also some other apps on here for that you can download from the Google Play Store. Here I have HBO Max, Prime Video, Netflix, TikTok. Really whatever is in the Google Play Store is what you'll be able to download and see here and use. So stay tuned. All right, so for the installation steps, kind of down here at the bottom, you can kind of just pull, and you can kind of see here, this just pulls away. The blue lights here I have for my kind of ambient light setup, which I'll do another video on soon. I'm waiting for one more piece so I can kind of run some other ambient lights in the back seats. So just kind of ignore those for now, but there's one connection here, which is the stock plug. And this is what the jumper is going to plug into. And this, of course, is where the new screen is going to mount. So let me unplug this. There is just the one connection here that you just lift up on right here. So let me unplug this so I can get this out of the way. And then I'm going to pull off the panel down here. Again, to do so, it's kind of very easy. You can always just kind of reach your hands down here underneath it, and then on the sides as well. There are, I believe it's 5 clips that are holding it on, kind of 3 here at the top, and then 1 on each side. You just got to pull backwards towards the rear seats to pull that panel off. So let me go ahead and get those 2 items done, and then we'll walk through kind of what the next steps are. So here's that one panel. I just pulled it off from here. You can stick your fingers underneath here and then just pull backwards on it. You don't even need the tools or anything to do so. But there are the 5 clips, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that get plugged in down here. Now, because I have the ambient lights, I have something already plugged into here. But if you don't, you'd basically just have this blue connection plugged into this one. And in essence, what you're going to be doing is plugging in the connection here in between, which is just basically, I guess you can call it like a jumper or a splitter, which is in essence, it's sending all the existing wire connections, kind of from left to right, or right to left. I'm not sure exactly which way it goes, but it does split off then the appropriate power needs that the screen needs to actually function. So let me go ahead, get this unplugged from this side. I'll put in the new connection and show you how all of that is completed. And then I'm also going to remove this panel here. It looks like there is actually 2 screws. You can kind of see it here, one right there, one right there. Undo those. And then this panel will just come off directly right towards the back seat. All right, so hopefully the background noise, there's a few neighbors in my neighborhood that are having some lawn service right now. Hopefully it's not too loud. But I did remove the 2 screws that were at the bottom, and then I just basically stuck my hand here at the bottom and pulled straight back, and then this panel just comes right off. You, of course, won't have, these extra things that I have plugged in here for the ambient light kit. But then this way, you can basically run the cable in between where this back panel that's here would sit, and in between down to here. That way you have room to run the one longer wire here, which is basically 2 plugs here at the back, and they plug into the back of the rear entertainment screen. So I'm just going to run these, and then I'm just going to push this panel back into position. You can see that there's 2 clips here at the bottom, 2 clips in the middle, 2 clips here at the top, and they'll just go back into the positions. You know, here's the top ones right here, push them back into position, so that way we can get continued on with getting the screen installed. All right, so I have that bottom panel back on. Oh, let me get this cord out of the way so you can see. This bottom panel back on, and then that middle panel back on. And then I have the cord that was here, which was plugged into the original rear vent, which is what we're gonna put this connection on. It's just gonna basically plug into there. And then we have the 2 wires that are from the kit that are gonna get plugged into the back of the screen. Let me get that here. There's basically 2 spots it's going to plug into. There's the black connection of the cord here, and then there's that little white connection right there, which is what these 2 are going to plug into. So let me get my other hand free, plug this in, and then we'll plug in the 2 connections in the screen, and we can get the screen then powered on, and I'll do that and show you what kind of that step looks like before I push the screen back into the original placement here. All right, so I just finished plugging in the screen connectors in the back. Ooh, let me fix the camera here so that it's a little more stable. There we go. So plugged in the 2 connections in the back. You can see it's kind of booting up right now. It is Android software based, so it's not, you know, native Tesla interfaces or anything. But these are this is the screen that it comes up with. You can control the rear vent power for, you know, kind of the air that's coming out. It does have, you know, here there's the keep mode, dog mode, camp. The nice thing is there is a child lock feature, so you can lock the device so, you know, your kid in the back won't be able to use it. There is a default password. I'll have to find it in the documentation they sent. But I believe it was 8687 was the default code. And I don't believe at this point there's a way to change that code. I think that is coming in a future software update. But you will see down here at the bottom, you know, there is this first screen to control the air back here at the back. I'm sorry, the next button, you can control the heated seats, and you can close them all. So, you know, if I turn this one back here, it's got the little bacon symbol, or the seat is red with the bacon symbol. I can go through the steps here, click them, turn them off. I can turn all 3 back on. Click the close all button, turns them all off. So it's really integrated and seamless there. What I don't have connected, and there actually wasn't another cord for it, so I think it's all integrated into the seat. So if I, move the seat forwards, backwards, you can rotate it. Because I did see other models that actually had a cord that you had to run under the seats, you know, to go under here, and then that you actually have to, if I move the camera, but remove the side plate and wire in the connections for down where your seat controls are. So this kit is actually a little nicer step above that, where you don't have to run separate wires. And then it looks like the symbol here and here is for the massage function, which I think is just using the lumbar support to make it feel like a massage. I'll have to try that out and kind of see what it looks like. The little music button here. So this does have a separate speaker in the back here that you can play your own music, you're watching shows, anything like that, but it has music control integrated. Here is kind of the native Bluetooth, or not Bluetooth, but the native Android kind of system here. It does have Android Auto and there's the CP link here, which is for CarPlay for cars. So you have that built into it. I haven't messed around with that process yet, and thinking about, you know, how that integrates, because the driver, of course, won't be able to see back here. So I'm not sure how beneficial those are. We'll have to kind of think through what that really works with. Then there's the button here, which is for easy access to, you know, Netflix, YouTube, TikTok. You can, if you wanted. It does have, I didn't mention it, but it does have in the kit here as well a USB-A to USB-C kind of dongle here. So you can download movies, you know, if you have it like on a USB stick or a hard drive or something, and then plug it into here if you wanted to do that versus streaming. You know, one of the differences between this and the stock, you know, Tesla integration is this does not use the native internet connection that your car has. So if you have the premium connection, this does not include, or it's not through that. So you do need a separate Wi-Fi connection, which you can, you know, use like your phone hotspot for. You can set up, like I have an iPhone, so I could set up a shortcut that when this Bluetooth, or when I'm within distance of the, not Bluetooth, but the Wi-Fi connection, that my, you know, phone hotspot can turn on, and I can connect to it automatically. So that way this has, you know, native, or doesn't have native, but it has an internet connection all the time. We are purchasing a Starlink for kind of a road trip we're going on later this year. I'll have a separate video of how I'm going to power the Starlink. There's a great device I got last month through Prime Days to kind of power everything in the car, and then mounting it and everything with that. But I'll go through all that for setting it up, but this might be a good way to do that. And there's the native, you know, kind of settings here. So I'm going to mess around with getting this to Fahrenheit since I'm in the US, my time format, you know, time setting, all those things, and walk through any other kind of neat features or things that I find that I wanted to call out. I did want to call out here, because it is an Android-based system, that there is 64 gigabytes of storage already built into this, which is great. And then there is an Arch 64 processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM. Let's see if anything else in here I wanted to really highlight. Not really, because it does have that here. And it does say in the back, you know, rear display Model 3. I have a Model Y Performance, so I think this device can be used for both Model 3 and Model Y, which is great to see. I know that's basically the same architecture in the car, just some, you know, obviously body differences and some inside interior differences. But the main kind of settings menu, this is Android based, of course, so it does have everything else here where you can set up your own, you know, Wi-Fi connection. And you'll see here the car just turned off because I've had these doors open for, I don't know, close to 10 minutes or so, and the screen shut off. So it natively turns on and off when the car powers down. You can see all the buttons down here are no longer illuminated because the car has basically powered down because the doors have been open for so long. So I'm going to plug the screen back into its kind of home down here now, and see if there's anything else I wanted to run through. All right, so one other kind of thing I wanted to show was specifically like on the seats. There's this open button up here, and I was wondering what that was for, but it actually can open up your glove box. So I'm just gonna put my finger here so I can click it. But when I click it, it's gonna ask for a password, and that default password was 8687. But when I click OK, I'm gonna do that kind of off screen here so you can see, but when I click that, the glove box opens. So this has a lot, because it's plugged into the OBD port, a lot of integration with Tesla itself to be able to control things. So I haven't logged into any of the streaming apps yet, but I think there was a local video that I saw loaded here, just to kind of show what's on here. So let me video quality, I'm not sure if it's reflecting on my iPhone, you know, the sun from outside, but this is crystal clear quality. Looks just as good as what I would see on my iPhone. The audio, I'm not sure how well it's going to translate to going from the speaker that's here to my iPhone. But let me go ahead and pause this. So I'm actually very impressed with that quality of everything, of how it's there, of the screen and everything. So this is, I think it's Ubin is how it's pronounced. Rear screen, it is 8.6 inches. So it is one of the largest screens that are available for the back. And you can see after everything is installed, you know, I know this is an aftermarket piece here that I have for my car, but it looks native, like it is part of the car built here. Size wise, I'm 6'4", and I have plenty of room with my legs here if I was sitting in the back seat to not hit it at all. You can see there's maybe an inch or so, 2 inches in between here. The vents, it can only go left and right, not side to side. But from what I understand, the angle of everything of how it's coming out makes it so it is comfortable. And you still retain the USB-C ports here, which are great. So kind of first impressions of the screen, definitely get my thumbs up. After my son has a chance to kind of see it and play with it a little bit, I'll be able to give some additional impressions of everything. But for, you know, the $250 I think it was that I paid last month, very happy with kind of the integration of everything, being able to control the seats. Front seats, you know, not maybe as beneficial depending on who you have in the back of your car, but having the ability to control the heated seats, you know, from the back. It does do the front ones as well. So I guess depending on who's in the back seat, you know, you might have a little bit of fun with you, you know, controlling everything here. But I haven't connected any of the Bluetooth headphones yet to this to see how that works. That's something that we need to test and validate everything is working there. But very, very happy with kind of my first impressions of this. One of the other things I wanted to highlight here was the kind of HVAC system control. So I did power on the front system, and we can see this is on wind speed of 4, 68 degrees. So I did notice that whenever you change kind of this setting here, I changed this to 73.4. It's still at 71 in the car, in the front. So there's not, like, it doesn't directly update or kind of control that here. But what I did notice is that when you do, like if I bring that from 4, let me move my finger, all the way to 10, hoping you can kind of hear the HVAC system now get very loud. And this is a pretty strong vent that I can feel pushing out of here. So just to give you an idea, here's kind of the side. My hand is directly over where the wind is coming out. Here, if I adjust this to kind of be more towards where the passenger would be, I can feel that all the way back here blowing. So I think people sitting in the back seat will be still very comfortable. Not being able to go up and down, I guess, is a little bit of a drawback, but kind of having full side-to-side experiences here. So if I bring these both to the center, I can feel it here, but right here where my hand is, if I'm looking at it center, I don't feel any. So you do have complete control side to side of kind of where the wind, or not wind, but where the HVAC is kind of blowing. So let me bring this down here to a lower speed so you can hear. Let me just see if on the front here, so I don't have, you know, keep dog or camp mode on. I'm going to press one of the buttons back here. I press camp. We can see this is now selected, but it is not selected up here in the native Tesla interface. So I don't believe it is able to kind of sync back and forth. I'll reach out to the company that I bought this from to Ubin, and just see if they'll help answer if there is, a software update available, or if there's that native integration between the two. And I'll post a response in this video when I have an update from them. But this is kind of my initial first review of this rear entertainment screen. The install process, 1 to 10 scale, I would say is probably like a 3 or 4. And it's really just being able to pull off the trim, plug everything in. I did have a little trouble kind of pushing the top of the screen for it to connect on each the left and right side, kind of those trim pieces, the connections for them to push all the way in. But when I did get them plugged in, this is not going anywhere without me really yanking on it to pull it off. So if you have kids, don't feel like they're going to be able to come back here and be able to yank the screen off or anything. I did leave this green dot here is just for me to grab to pull off the screen protector. I'm going to leave this on for now, and hopefully my son doesn't pull it off, just to have some extra protection on it, so to not have it scratch or do anything like that. But if I turn off camp, child lock, so child lock has been opened and then ask you for a password. So again, the default password 8687 turns it off. From what I understand, though, that only kind of locks the interface here, so they can't go to any other setting on here. I'm tapping the screen, so that way you can lock it. So if you got kids in the back or passengers, you don't want disrupting, turning on heated seats or moving your passenger seat or whatever. That is a great way to protect them from being able to do that. So if I just hit child lock again, 8687. Now, if I click the seat, I have full control again to go back and forth amongst everything. I'll test to see if there's anything else. Well, I shouldn't say test, but I'll look to see if there's anything else in the owner's manual that was in the package of things, that I wanted to highlight. But otherwise, if not, I'll put the link. I found it on Facebook, but it went to their website. So I'll put the link in the description below. If you were interested, in picking yourself one up. I don't know what the current price is. But again, I got it for, I think it was around $250. So for that much, kind of having it back here, if you're a passenger, I'm at kind of head level right now. It's not terrible. Or I should say my phone is at head level. It's not terrible if this is where you're looking, staring at everything. I'm a taller guy, so, I can feel it a little bit in my neck that it can get a little tiresome having to stare down. But if you're a kid and you're down here and you're staring at it, I don't think you'll have any problems, with them being able to see the screen or do anything with it. I know with the phone, kind of the viewing angles sometimes get a little bright, or, it doesn't focus, but kind of in person, I think it's moving pretty well. All right, so I did want to kind of just highlight here what it looks like. I pulled up YouTube, just typed in my channel name, and I'm just going to click on one of the videos here, and this is Matt with my Model Y Juniper. You can see it's loaded everything, it's playing everything. Let me just pause it and bring it up here. See if I can change the quality from 360. I can pick an advanced one, 1080p, I think is the highest that quality that I have. I can click down here to make it, not full screen anymore. It's working out pretty well. I'm kind of, very impressed with the quality of what's playing here. Sound quality is pretty good. I don't have any Bluetooth headphones with me to be able to test. I have some AirPods downstairs, but they're dead right now. I need to charge them. So I can't really test that to see if everything is working, but just to show, I connected it to my home Wi-Fi because I'm in my garage. But again, connecting to your phone hotspot, or connecting to, if you have, Starlink, or, another maybe portable hotspot to get internet connection, because otherwise you won't have a connection available to be able to stream stuff. So just wanted to show that here. I don't have, or I didn't log into Netflix. But you know, there's the ability to stream Netflix. There were some other apps on here, or well, it's loaded Netflix. I did want to highlight, because this is an Android Auto, you do have the ability, you know, in the Play Store. You can go into here, download, you know, anything that's on the Google Play Store, you know, so Hulu, Disney, you know, HBO Max, or Max, whatever it's called now, changing their name so much. And you can download, you know, all those apps or streaming services that you want to be able to load onto here. It does have Google Chrome, so you can pull up, you know, Chrome and be able to surf the web. You know, if you were back here, you wanted to look something up. This is just Google's main stuff here, but if I just click, you know, Amazon, brings me to Amazon's website. I can go back up here. So it basically is kind of, you know, a tablet functionality, because it has that all integrated into here, all built in, which is great to see, you know, to navigate throughout all of this. What I don't necessarily see, and I'll ask the Ubin company, you know, is I open this up, but there's not kind of at here at the top, like I can swipe down and it brings up this to be able to go home, which is great. If you're in like the settings down here, let me go back here, settings, when you're navigating to go through here, oh, it wasn't doing this earlier, so I might have been doing it wrong, but the go back button and everything was kind of hidden. So to natively see that, you know, when you're scrolling, just slide up from the top, or slide down, I should say, from the top, and it will bring you, you know, kind of back and forth to the various settings. If you did load stuff locally, like on a USB drive, you can go right to video, and to be able to load everything here. I don't have a USB drive with anything plugged in, but you know, pictures are on here if you have local pictures, because it has that built in. I'm not sure how beneficial that is in the back of a car. I think mostly just for, you know, the streaming services or anything like that, to keep some kids entertained, is what the main feature and call out of this is. So again, Ubin's I think it's 8.66 or 8.6 inch screen. I'll find the stats and I'll put it in the very beginning of the video. So this is kind of the end of it. If you already went through all this, you saw everything. But so far, I would kind of give this out of a 1 to 10 score with everything. You know, I'd probably say it's at like a 9 out of 10 right now. Very happy with the features that it offers. The price point, you know, it's not cheap by any means when you're looking at things. I guess it's comparable to a, you know, cheaper Android tablet. But having it built into the car, I guess in essence, to say, for lack of a better word, is, I think, a lot more beneficial. You know, it natively powers on and off, which is great. Its own separate volume controls. So very happy with it. So I did want to also show here, sorry, wrong tab. On the video tab here, I did log into Netflix. So clicking it, booting it up, logging it in, and loading right now. So, you know, just to kind of show here, I'm just going to click play. Nope, I hit the My List button. Enter a PIN. So this is my profile. I have a PIN so my son can't watch anything on this. Let me just enter my PIN and I'll be right back. All right, so I did enter the PIN and we can see here it is starting to play. I'm going to talk a little bit just so I don't get a copyright strike because of the music in the background here. But you can hear the speakers that are down here in the bottom. You can hear it coming out the volume, and it is pretty nice sound and volume wise here. It does sound loud enough. If you wanted to adjust the volume, there is, I think it's sound settings here, and you can, here we can have it, see if it can focus on the text there. There you go. Sound settings to adjust it here. I don't really see an easy way, and it might just be me not being entirely familiar kind of with Android, because I do use an iPhone. But there's no, you know, like native way or like a slider that's over here to adjust the volume. So I'll have to play around with this a little bit more and figure out exactly how does the volume change and everything with that work. What is nice though, I did notice, is when you click a different tab, say here, it does bring the screen that you had, kind of like a picture-in-picture, and it does work on the different tabs here. So you can easily just kind of click back here, click the little larger icon in the middle, and it brings it right back up to where you were. It's a very nice kind of intuitive feature there. It does go across the different screens there. If I go to the seat tab, it goes back and forth amongst all of the screens, which is nice to see, because that way you can easily go back to where you were. I did also want to cover kind of this media icon here, the controls. So right now, I was listening earlier to Odessa, big fan. This is their Last Goodbye tour, and it's not currently playing. You can kind of see in the bottom left of the screen, it's got the play icon. If I come over here, let me zoom back out a little bit, a little bit too far. If I click the play icon, maybe, there we go. Sorry, I didn't hit it exactly right the first time. Let me zoom back in. You can see it is playing. There is also the volume control. So if I click the button on the screen back here, you can see the volume is going down. If I click it, it is going up. Just gonna keep talking so I don't get a copyright strike. You can also kind of click the icon here in the screen to go back, go forward, pause. It natively is controlling the audio in the front of the car. So if you're listening to something and you get a passenger back here who wants to tell you something, to talk about something, they can also easily just click the media icon and click pause. They can turn the volume down. It's nice that it's integrated into using the Tesla screen, or using the OBD port, I should say, to natively show it on the screen. That way it's completely integrated one to the other, which is very nice to see.